house, and it's incredibly complex. And we had a Lance Corporal running it, which is ridiculous. And he did it well.
What are his roles?
Everything, from getting the chow for the ops guys, because the A-team guys ate Iraqi food usually, to getting oil distribution for the city, getting gasoline for our own generators, to getting bullets or rounds, to keeping the trucks up, to sending the trucks back. I mean, to keep a base running is substantial, and the fact that a Lance Corporal, if you demand that a Lance Corporal does it, guess what? He's a Marine. He's gonna fucking do it. And I knew enough to stay out of his way. That's what I knew. And in the very beginning, I was in the weeds on it, and then the only guidance I gave him after that was, if something goes wrong, I will kill you. So don't let anything go wrong. And that's the guidance I gave him, and I never really had any issues.
And the S3?
S3 was Corporal Yeager, and then Lance Corporal Durhammer. And both those guys were pretty interesting, because those were guys who I was a little worried about whether they would be able to cross that bridge. And Durhammer did a great job. Yeager did a great job too.
I think it's funny because I remember when I was there, Corporal Yeager, that was his threat, that he was going to go staff sergeant.
Yeah.
And everyone was just kind of like, okay, well, we like the way things are here. We don't want you to go staff sergeant.
Yeah. I mean, they Yeager was definitely the stick of the group, and so they knew.
He called himself the Hammer.
Yes, the Hammer, and he actually had a hammer, which didn't help. So, they all knew Corporal Yeager, but they liked him. They wanted to keep him happy too, so which was good. But
and then chronologically, for what period were you there? So it was July to
November.
So how many months is that? So 7.
So it's really really August, September, October, November, so 4 months.
And what significant activities happened?
We transformed Taylor. The Marines did a great job, and frankly, the Iraqis did it. The Iraqis did it. They did a great job. But we had the Ramadi Hospital, which was the Al Anbar Hospital, which saw upwards of 3,000 to 4,000 patients a day. When functioning, by the time we left, when we got there, it saw like maybe 200 to 300, and it was a management disaster. So,
yeah, I remember Doc Eddie was telling me that when they did an inspection, they went to the emergency room and there was a woman dying in the emergency room.
Oh yeah, I mean it was ridiculous.
And apparently he actually hunted a doctor down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean we do surprise inspections. Doc Eddie and I would go out and we go to the hospital at 03, and there's like people dying, and Doc Eddie would be running around the hospital. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you drinking chai? Get in there. And there weren't doctors. I mean, there literally weren't doctors at 3 a.m. So it's a nurse who has no idea. They all think I'm a doctor, and they think Doc Eddie's a doctor, so they're saying, you fix him. So, I poke him a little bit, and Doc Eddie does all the real stuff, but it was ridiculous. The manager was like the head of the hospital, which is a huge job, did not want to do it. So right before we got there, the old guy got fired because he was embezzling money or something. So this new guy was actually just a doctor. He was a professor, no managerial experience. And so they put him there temporarily, and he thought that meant a week. So every day he'd say, can I quit? Can I go? I don't want to do this. I hate this, blah, blah. By the end, he liked it. He got better at it. But so what my job was, and Doc Eddie's job was my job was specifically management consulting. Literally what it boiled down to was, hey, have you set up the log requests? Have you talked to the doctors of each department, and have you set up, these requests for more equipment? Who's going to maintain the equipment? Have you talked to these guys? Are your doctors getting paid? Have you talked to the DG of medicine about getting raises for your doctors? Because right now, a doctor's getting paid $200, and police are getting paid $700 a month. Where's the medicine coming from? Where's the medicine pipeline? Why is the medicine not here? When is this new, CAT scan machine getting in? Where is it going to be staged? How's it getting powered? All these questions. And I remember the first meeting I had with him, I hammered into him. I mean, hammered into him, literally that fast, all these questions, and he was completely overwhelmed. And then I made a point to kind of coddle him a little bit after that and build him back up. But he did a great job, and he did great things. And I mean, I'll say, we pointed out problems and we showed them how to fix it, but we never really fixed it for them. They really did a great job of fixing themselves, and the doctors were happier, the patients were obviously happier. And we just started demanding things like, hey, where's the schedule for the doctors? They used to just turn patients away. Doctors used to have the authority to turn patients away, and the manager instated a policy of, if you turned away a patient, it could only be signed by the director of the hospital, and he would say what was wrong, why they could not help, and where he could seek help. This is an amazing thing to happen in an Iraqi hospital, because now the patients feel they can actually do something about it. And so when they couldn't get help, now they come to the Americans, and now I know what's wrong, now I know why they can't do anything, and now I know where I either need to send them or what I need to do to actually help out the hospital to help these people out. So it was beneficial.
Are you familiar with there's a quote from Lawrence of Arabia, the effect of the Englishman can do the action, but it's better if the Arab does the action by a large measure?
That's well, the quote is I mean, he probably says that too, but the quote is the exact quote, by the way, that was one of the required readings, Lawrence of Arabia, 7 Pillars. And I also read the autobiography, and he said, what it boils down to is, if an Arab can do it 30% as well as an Englishman, it's still better than an Englishman. So, look, if Navy doctors came into that hospital, it would have been 100%. It would have been great. I'm sure they would have done great things. It would have been worthless, though, because at some point the end result is to leave, and then what do you have? You have a collapse of the system. So, it took them a little longer, but they got it and they did it well. So it was good.
What other significant daily or weekly activities occurred in your tour at Dale?
I think the biggest thing we did was we took the Professor Rahim and we took Colonel Adnan, who were feuding quite badly because there was some blatant corruption going on, and we separated them. And so, and I was the barrier, and they could talk about anything except money. So as soon as it came to projects, anything dealing with projects, Colonel Adnan wasn't allowed to be there. And I said it up front, and I was very strict about this one, and it worked out, and they became friends.
So can you set the stage for that a little bit? I mean,
yeah, well, I came in and
I physically separate them.
Yeah, sure. I came in, and India Company told me, hey, there's problems with these guys, and there's corruption going on here. So I gave Professor Rahim a building, a room, and India started doing this, and we just completed it. And Colonel Adnan used to sit in on these district council meetings, and I kicked him out. Now, you have to do it diplomatically. I can't just say, get out. But I said, this is not your place. You deal with security, he'll deal with civil services, and that's all there is. And you support him, and that's all there is to it. And, the biggest thing, and it was literally part of the biggest thing we wanted to do, and I want to get across, was civics lessons, like blatant civics lessons, like just telling someone, again, the why is the most important, telling someone, don't be corrupt. Okay, like, fuck you.